Hey, gonna do a little sewing room tour because I have a great sewing room and there's probably about 8 minutes till everyone comes back with the shopping. Here is my sewing room. God, I'm so lucky to have a sewing room. I'm so lucky to have a sewing room with a chandelier. Ooh. That's my granny's chandelier. It's my granny's dining room table. And this was my granny's sewing box, which is like a Regency knife case. It was a lovely sewing box, but I seem to have just taken it as a starting point and have now expanded to an entire room of sewing things, which is all well and good, but it means we can no longer eat around the dining room table and have to just have dinner on our laps. So this is my first favourite thing. This is an apothecary cabinet that I got from Facebook Marketplace. This is all the big pieces of fabric, and I put them on comic book, well, it's not really comic book boards, it was just like bits of random card, which is a good system if you're like super tidy about putting everything back properly, which, as you can see, I'm not actually brilliant at. And then here are all my fat quarters. God. They're arranged by colour, and I just tied a little snippet of fabric onto the front of them to give an indication. Pink ones here, green ones here, and I put the solid colours in these end ones, just about busting out there. So that's the basic quilting fabric stash, and I kind of have got all I can cope with for quilting fabric. Cupboard of my dreams, make all my quilts from. Ironing station. This is all on wheels, so I can take it out if I do ever actually want to have dinner in here. Pegboard. Pegboard works really well. Like, it really doesn't take very long to put everything back up and on it. And I just put little cable ties on my scissors so I can hang them on there. Pencils. What are those called? Those are called pin cushions. Pin cushions. Rotary cutters. Scissors. Ironing ham. Thing for lint rolly thing. Spray starch, measuring tapes. I believe I can still identify everything here. Iron, and it's one of those ones that you can kind of like fish around with, or you can put the thing on. So easy to just pick up and iron little bits with. So this unit, this is all my lovely labelled haberdasheries. Look at my lace. Look at my beautiful ancient handkerchiefs that I seem to be addicted to buying off eBay for like £3. Oh, they're so fine. So fine. We got trims. We've got zips. We've got all the pretty ribbons. And we've got all the modern trims and that. And then in here somewhere, there's my granny's pearl buttons. Got her old button bag. A little note about the flooring. The flooring's great, yeah. The flooring's fantastic, but I might point out that if you drop anything on the flooring, you never bleeping know where it is. Have a sense of doom anytime I drop anything. Here is all the ingredients for my caps, for my millinery, silk and linen straps, and of course a treat, all in nice boxes. I did a tidy up recently. And here's all my threads, hand sewing supplies, pin cushions, and this is just a box for scraps of fabric as I go that are all going to make it into the quilting scrap bag. Latest quilt, just makes me so happy just to knock one up. Here are some cute little treasures. This is my grandpa's cigarette case. I have no cigarettes anymore, so for business cards, little Jane Austen cards there. This is a tiny tape measure. How cute is that? It's made of boxwood. Someone asked me if it was plastic. This is my great grandmother's thimble. It's got mother of pearl around the bottom of it, and she used it so much that it's been patched. Someone has had to mend the thimble with more little bits of silver stuck on. And this is a tiny needle case. It looks like some toddler has chewed it or something, but hey. Betraying its previous past as a fancy room, this is also my ever so great grandmother's cruet set. You gotta wonder, really, if she was a Disney villain. Doesn't that just look like Cruella de Vil? Fantastic. And why, may I ask, did they have one with a little tiny silver spoon? What were they up to? This ancestors of mine. On the way around. Hi, Rudolph. Then sewing machine. Oh my God, I love my sewing machine. Faff, massive faff. And then up here we've got the quilt backs. So these are all the big sheets. And then this is the cupboard where things go to die, because this is my works in progress. Yeah, they've been there a while. All my lovely books. Some good ones here. Strongly recommend quite a few of these. Down here we've got all my silks, damasks. We've got wools, corduroys. In that one we've got linens and neutrals and interfacings. Up here we have my tailor's dummy. I am not the same shape as a tailor's dummy, so we've got a bit of padding in there to make it more me shaped. And down here, we've got the best thing about the sewing room. We've got the lovely dog. Cuckoo. Sugar cow.